Hi. So, obviously today's video is about the SH Figuarts Todo, and I've been meaning to do this for a while and just never got around to it because, of course, I've been on a weird little hiatus. But a fan of mine and a friend of mine, Cyphinx, he's on some of the streams. He asked me to review this figure a while ago, and I just never got around to it, so I finally want to do that before I do anything else. But yeah, this figure's actually quite good. He's quite nice. He's very basic for an SH Figuarts, but he's still quite nice. So I'll talk about everything more in depth, but that is a good start to my opinions. There's two fatal flaws of this figure that I really want to hone in on later, but other than that, he's real good. So let's start off with talking about how the figure actually looks. When you're talking about the look for this figure, it's spot on. There's only really paint on the chest and torso, but all of it's this really nice shading that helps bring the figure to life. And otherwise, all of the painting is focused on the face, which looks perfect. It looks just like Todo did in the show. When it comes to the accessories for Todo, he has 3 extra pairs of hands, as well as 2 specific pose hands, one for him to kiss his locket and one for him to match a pose with Yuji. As mentioned before, he has the locket for him to kiss. There's also a set of crossed arms for him. It's really easy for him to use. You just pop out the bicep and place him in there. His last set of accessories are 4 extra faces, which are all, again, spot on to his likeness. When it comes to the articulation for this figure, it's really great, all except for 2 main areas, and these are my 2 biggest gripes with the figure: the head and the chest. Now when it comes to the head, you get some really good swivel and tilt out of it, but not enough up or down. This is because the way the hair is sculpted on here restricts him from looking up any further. There's no give to the plastic, there's no anything, it's solid. So you can't move it around at all. If they had done something like Amazing Yamaguchi does, where there's a separate insert piece inside of the head where the hair is, would have worked out a lot better. But as it is, there isn't enough up, and there's not a lot of down because you'd be pushing the face off of the figure at that point. The other main issue, again, is the chest. There isn't a lot of forward or back at the diaphragm joint. There's a lot of swivel and tilt, but there's not enough forward and back. As it is, it's alright, but I would love to have more articulation in the chest. The rest of their articulation is very, very good. Arms and legs both are double jointed, they move around plenty. Bicep swivel's great. Butterfly joints, you have to force them and wiggle them a little bit, but they get everywhere that you need to. So again, the rest of the articulation is great. It's just those 2 smaller areas that you really have to worry about. When it comes to the height of Todo, he's between 6 and 6.5 inches, leaning more towards 6.5 inches, which makes him one of the taller figures in the line. Final thoughts on this figure: he's great. If you're looking for a Todo, I'd suggest getting him. This is probably the best representation of him that we're going to get from any company, so I would absolutely recommend picking one of these up. If you can get past those 2 little things in the articulation, then I'd absolutely go ahead and get one. If I had to give it a final number rating, I would probably give it the same as I gave Gojo, a 9 out of 10. So he has less issues than Gojo if you ask me, but the accessories are really well done. The articulation works really well except for those 2 areas, and the aesthetic is on point. So again, really recommend getting one of these guys if you can. But that's everything that I have to say.